because that's just the weight. That doesn't change. We don't know the 4.9, because the 4.9 depends on whatever angle this is. I'm going to go ahead and draw it. That theta there is the same as this one here. We don't know what theta is. That's what we're trying to solve for. So now that I've got a few more things drawn, I didn't make any assumptions here. I just wrote it in terms of theta. What has to be in balance for this thing to just start to slide? Just think. Don't even look at this. Just this block sitting on what two forces are just in balance when this thing starts to slide? Friction. The friction and
the slope.
The force down the slope. So this thing will just start to slide when the force, I'll just use ds, is in the force or friction when the force down slope is equal to the force of friction. Those two things are balanced. Problem is we can't solve for the force down slope because we don't know what theta is. We can't solve for the force of friction because remember the force of friction, that's normal force. That's also a function of theta. But we can write both of those. We can write the force down slope and the force of friction in terms of theta. So we don't actually solve it, we write the equation out and act like we know what we're doing. We just leave it as a written as theta. So let's do that. So we're going to do it just like we did the last problem, but we're going to leave the theta as an unknown. So let's calculate the normal force. What's the normal force? Well, we've got adjacent, we've got hypotenuse.
Cosine of theta
equals
n over
the normal over 9.8 newtons. So our normal force, we just take this one more step, is 9.8 newtons times cosine theta. That's our normal force. And we'll just walk over here real quick. So the force of friction is 0.3 times 9.8 times, that's newtons, times cosine of theta. So we've got the force of friction written in terms of theta. We got half of it. The force downslope. That's this little leg right down here, right? Brandon, you want to help me out with this one? On the right equation for force downslope?
Yes,
What's theta?
It would be equal to force friction, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I want to write. Well, it's got to be the force of friction, but we want to write it in terms of, we already know the force of friction is this. So we want to write an equation for this force downslope using theta in our known.
Sine of theta.
Yeah. Theta is equal to this opposite, so that'd be the force. So this is our force downslope. Is equal to the force downslope divided by that. So it's hypotenuse 9.8 newtons. So our FBS is equal to 9.8 newtons times sine of theta. But we've got this relationship up here. FDS is equal to FF. We've got FDS and we've got FF. So what do we have? We've got three equations and three unknowns. We've got FDS, FF, and theta. We can solve this. So all we got to do is set this FDS with FF. So this here is equal to this here. So 9.8 newtons times sine of theta